Well, I'm meteorologist Vin Crosby, and the sun is starting to set on the eve of a pretty major snowstorm and winter storm for the Northwest and the Treasure Valley. Winter weather advisories are up by the National Weather Service. I like my forecast. It is still holding, I think, true, and that means it's going to be very nasty for you at home. I'm going to break it down as best as I can at this point. And as you can see, there's some snow in the foothills, but this is going to be a blanket of white across the Treasure Valley, I think, for the remainder of this year, and perhaps right on into maybe even Groundhog's Day. There's that possibility. We'll break it down for you in great detail. The timing of this system, first of all, I recommend not going to work tomorrow, maybe keeping the kids home from school, because it's going to come at a time and really being intense during the afternoon into the evening hours, where I think by this time, tomorrow afternoon, and I'm now here on Wednesday in the afternoon hours at 4 p.m., okay, December 7th. I think by this time tomorrow afternoon, we are going to have maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow on the ground. And now it should start falling around in the west end of the valley, down by the Oregon border and around Canyon County, say by 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And then it start expanding to the east, and by noontime, we'll have the snow flying here in Boise, and probably 1/4 of an inch on the ground already, if not more. And then it's really going to start to pick up in intensity. Keep in mind, there's going to be a lot of wind with this system. It's a dry atmosphere, but anything that falls is going to stick. It is just so cold. It's a perfect scenario for a good moderate snowfall here in the Treasure Valley. And so I think by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we'll have at least 2 to 4 inches of snow, maybe 2 to 3 in there. And then going in towards the rush hour commute, that 3 to 6 inch range, say by 6 to 7, 8 o'clock at night, 3 to 6 inches of snow will be on the ground in the Treasure Valley. Now, here's the problem. With this Arctic cold air settled on into the valley floors, it sets the stages for some freezing rain, liquid rain that looks like rain, feels like rain, and freezes on contact. And so that could transpire in pockets around the Treasure Valley, especially in the low-lying areas. Even if the snow stops, that rain will be freezing in pockets on surfaces. So roadways, bridges, power lines could see a 1/16 of an inch to maybe 1/4 of an inch of ice on top of that. That's going into tomorrow night. So my thoughts are the same forecast holds true. I think out of this system, we could have 3 to 10 inches, depending on where you are in the Treasure Valley, even down towards the Magic Valley. Then a change over to freezing rain and maybe a mix of rain. And then it'll be cold enough to lock things down with fog for Friday. And then there's another system coming in after that. So a very dangerous system shaping up here in the Treasure Valley. The wind chill temperatures, and I don't have my gloves on, and so if there was a wind, I would have a wind chill temperature. But all you have to do to get rid of a wind chill is cover the exposed skin. That's going to be a big part of this. And then the other part is parents, please educate your kids. The ice will not be safe. The ice around the Treasure Valley will not be safe, so don't venture out on any ponds or any edges along the river. So to recap, I think in the Treasure Valley, 3 to 10 inches. I think it starts around, say, by mid-morning tomorrow. Picks up in intensity with roads already slick. Lots of wrecks happening by noontime into the mid-afternoon hours. The snow really picks up intensity with the winds 15 to 35 miles per hour from the southeast. Low visibilities, blowing and drifting snows. And then the freezing rain kicks in tomorrow night. As far as the mountains, the ski areas, 1 to 2 feet easily for most of the resorts, and possibly more. So this is going to be a major snowstorm for the Gem State, for Oregon, and even back towards the Columbia River Gorge in Washington. So the podcast, check that out. We'll be updating that frequently, and of course we'll be monitoring the snow all day during the day tomorrow.